Right, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few weeks since we've knocked out a video. Apologies for that, I've not been very well. Thanks to my beautiful wife giving me rather a stinking cold, amongst other things. It did go down to my chest, so we've been battling that, trying to keep it at bay. So apologies for the lateness in delivering the second part of the bench seat build. A lot better now, still not great. As you can see, we're up in the cabin because of the weather. We've had a fair bit of lying snow and just generally awful weather. So I know it's been the same for the rest of the country. I hope you are all staying safe and indeed warm. So, second part of the bench seat build. What we'll do is try and, oh god, buddy. Oh yeah, bear with me. Right, so excuse all about that. That's for Joss. She's way back to uni soon, so we've been gathering stuff. So you saw me in the last one build the carcass. So we've got two identical sized pots, and then we've got the spare sort of bit here for sort of secure store, if you like, which is accessible from the sliding door. This bit here wraps around the pillar. So we need to cut these bits to size now. So this is going to be the back support, so we need to obviously scribe out for this piece, but we want to get everything sort of set, positioned, screwed, so that we can then take it back out to Doris, and then we can set up the actual scenario it's going to be in, so we can get this bit scribed and then we can screw it home. So we do need to obviously trim it to length, we need to edge band the sawn sides, and then we also need to, if I can grab that, and this is where I'm going to show how professional we are, if it fits, ha ha, and it does. So we need to edge band this piece as well. This is obviously the front piece. Mr. Amazon very kindly delivered us some 1 metre piano hinges, which we've got to trim down as well. So this is going to have a whole piano hinge. It's got plenty of support anyway, so you know, even someone of my ample physique could comfortably stand on this, and it shouldn't collapse. So it will get hinged here. We will get a heat gun on this to peel it off, because B&Q for whatever reason use the most incredible sticky bloody things, like when they're doing the labels, and then this will get covered with foam to give it a nice seat, and then we just need to put some sort of finger hole or something in this to be able to obviously do that to get into the thing. So things we need to achieve is edge band, trim to size, and it's as simple as that. And then we can set the piano hinges, even though we're putting piano hinge in, and to be fair, I've not actually opened this, so I think it's probably prudent that we do. So that we make sure that they're at least undamaged, and more importantly, fit. So I'll give them the juice, nicely packaged. So piano, if I can open it, quite stiff. So piano hinges, for those that don't know, is a continuous length of hinge. Called piano hinge because that's what it's used on. Well, that's what it was first designed to do. So that is going to sit nicely on there. That is exactly the right size. Obviously, like I say, we do need to trim it down to probably about here. So we'll mark that, we'll cut that with an angle grinder with a 1mm bit, which gives us a nice finish, and we'll just grind that smooth and we'll just touch it up on the end just to stop it rusting. We did go for a black one, so it will obviously hide. And then we've got some tiny screws, I think they're up there somewhere, to pop them in and hope for the best. And they do need to be tiny screws because they are tiny holes, and I'm not sure that my tiny screws are the same size as these, so we may have to come up with something else for that, but we'll work on that one in a bit. So we've got a little bit of a chip out there, so we're going to measure from this end to get the right length, and that length, we need a square. We know, get rid of that for now. I got two because, believe it or not, it was cheaper to buy two than it was to buy one. I don't know how that works, really don't. That befuddles me every time. I hope the lighting's okay for you guys. I've put a new bulb in this thing. It's a white light rather than casting light. So we are hopeful that it's doing enough. And right, so the length that we need is 80 centimetres. Got a pencil around here somewhere. 80 centimetres. We need and a nice line, and then what we're going to do is just take a stand. Other brands are available, I have to say that, and then we're just going to score the top, just because we get a nice clean line, providing we cut to the side of that. So what I've also done is we'll spin you around to see. We've got a table saw in up here. I'm going to boot it outside to do the actual cut because she will go daft if I cut in here. But what we've done is we've made sure that our blade is perfectly at 90, and we've extended the rip fence just because it's a long piece and we are cutting just on the side. And then so what we've done here is we've just screwed a nice straight piece of timber to the back side of it, and that, so it works in either side obviously, and it is perfectly square to the blade. And for that, all we did was line up our square against the blade. So this is why we've raised it up as high as we have. It's not plugged in, so don't worry. Safety guards are removed just so that you can see what I'm doing. Make sure your safety guards are in place, which is why I haven't taken the back throat off. Stop the kickback. So make sure your safety guards are in place and follow all the safety rules that come with your tools. And wear safety glasses when you're using things like this. So anyway, so we've made sure that the mitre gauge is set exactly 90 degrees to the blade. So what we can do now is lower our blade back down, okay, so that it is cutting just, and you're not going to see that, but it is literally just proud at the highest point of the material. You don't want it up as high as I had it for when you're cutting. You want it just proud of the material, so it's enough to cut but not enough to rip it, because you want it to cut, not tear it, and that's the key. So you all seen me cut timber before, so I'm going to pause the video just while I get this outside and set up. We'll mark up both pieces, we'll get them cut, and then we'll bring you back online. We will be using the mitre gauge for both. The difference of the mitre gauges to cutting the thick panel, the wide panel, is I'm going to mount it on this side that way round, so we push it through against the mitre gauge rather than the mitre gauge push the material through on this side for the thin piece. Reason for that is obviously that we've got more of the bed available until such time as we're hitting the start of the saw blade, and that's the only reason that we're doing that way round. Always use your tools, these things, to guide your material through rather than the material guide it against it. It's just safer, but both are good common practices. I have used both in the past several times. It's just down to personal preference, but when cutting wide pieces on the thinner ends, use your mitre gauge around the other way so that you can process the material through safer. So I'll pause the video for the minute.
Okay, so at this point I was going to be explaining all about cutting smoothly and slowly to keep that nice clean edge, and the fact that we then edge banded everything, but as you can tell, the microphone didn't pick up. The batteries in the receiver had died, so you get to listen to nothing. So all we did in this was edge band, as we previously said, and then went on to fitting the piano hinges and all the bracketry to screw it to the floor. Fitting the thin piece that I'm holding at the moment was a case of offering it up and drilling 2 holes at each location where it passes across the substrate framing, of which we only secured a few of them just to get the frame square so we could drill all the holes. So apologies for the lack of sound. We did rectify that later on in the video, as you'll see. So we'll just speed this little piece up just so that you don't have to sit and listen to nothing. thumb there on that piece just to square it off. So we've got 2 screws in the very left hand side as we stood there, and then just by squaring off this piece that I'm now drilling, it just brings the whole carcass frame nice and square. And it's the same with the end piece here, like because it's just a single piece and not connected to anything, we can bring that nice and square as well before we drill that, and it just brings the entire carcass perfectly square at that point. Okay, so I don't know how long the battery will last, but as you can see the top is in. I've put magnetic catches on the front just to, as you can get, nice positive lock. Piano hinges in, all the holes are drilled, she's square, she's lovely. So this is our leading edge. I'll put it on an old mat just to protect it now. So it's coming together nicely. So the next job won't be tonight because of the lighting. As you can see, I've had to put an extra light out just to put some in here, basically. Is to offer this up, scribe this little bit to go around the door pillar, and then she can go in place. So I've got the brackets and the feet now in place to screw it down to the floor when it's ready. So job is a good one. So let me just tilt you up quickly before the camera dies. So thanks for watching. The next vid hopefully will be tomorrow, fingers crossed. We'll show this actually being scribed in and installed. That lighting is awful, I really do apologise. So let me do that. And I can't see you. I don't think that's any better, to be honest. Oh dear. Let's put it down there. Okay, so thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and follow the channel. Please do tell other people about it. We are one step closer to getting Doris fixed and up and running. So again, thanks, like, subscribe and please follow for more, and let's get this installed in the van.